thing, but that's the thing. It was democracy before, but it wasn't democracy like we have. I mean, they had freedom of speech, they had a lot of freedoms, but it was a limited democracy.
Well, he probably means their leaders, governmental leaders, they're probably Buddhists and everything
Oh
else
yeah.
anyway, so they're going to push that.
Yeah.
They put their temple up, though, let's put our Baptist church up outside.
Right.
Take the picture. We recommend y'all
Now,
go up there.
if they have those elections and if they truly became a democracy, because before they were dual ran, so the military had their say of what would go on. So that may have been what was keeping any, new Bibles or anything like that from being spread. If they were a true democracy, we might see that.
Well, you talking 80%,
Yep.
democracy voted in like 80%, and the armed military come in and took over. Surely they got to be some malicious things somewhere on the democracy side.
Oh yeah.
I mean, to make this an even fight.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look up, if you go on YouTube and look it up, you can see where they've been, like I said, going up into the hill country. And now, who's supplying the guns? Because guns aren't legal there except for the military. There you go. Somebody's been supplying the guns, but yeah, they've been doing a lot of training up in the hill country. Aung San Suu Kyi.
Yeah, so what about her? What happened to her?
She's still in prison, is all we know.
So if it's overturned and overruled and new voted, do they get her out?
Good question. Don't know. The charges they brought on her were fake, trumped up charges.
Right.
Just
I remember reading about it. I was trying to place it in my head.
yeah. Yeah, it hit the news real big back in the 1st of February for about 2 weeks, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And they say a lot of the reason for that is because it's being backed by China. If you'll notice, a lot of the military over there have the red bands on their arms, and that's usually a sign of being backed by China. Of course, the UN won't have anything to do with it. Biden has supposedly put sanctions on them, but nobody really wants to jump in because they know that China will jump back in on the other side. Yeah.
Man, I pray for you.
Any more questions?
Just thank God he ain't sent me over.
We need to just all agree in prayer for Jeff. Yeah, well, he's retired now. He's retired, so him and,
Like he'd send me to Edwards.
I told Carrie whenever I surrendered to preach, I told her, I said, I feel like God's calling me to the mission. She said, where? I said, the Virgin Islands. I said, boy, she said, let's go. I feel it too. Well, look, we thank God for our missionaries. We thank God. We need to be praying for them daily. Because I tell you this, and Brother Russell, I can say this, we never stopped. When COVID hit, there's one testimony we can stick with here. We never shut down. We kept on going right through it. And God blessed. God blessed. And but there were, what kept me going a lot of the times was simply this, that even though you had missionaries and all these things, it's been in these foreign countries with all these diseases and everything trying to spread the gospel. And then right here in the United States, something come up and the church is shut down. I remember there was a lot of preachers preached on, about against the government, saying things about the government and this and that. And I remember telling Brother Jeff back there one time, I said, my problem wasn't with the government. Never was, because I never had no faith in them from the get-go. Where I lost a lot of respect was whenever churches started cowering down, and shutting the doors and this and that. We've respected it around here, but we've tried to honor God, and God blessed. But I know that you and your family's fixing to take on a huge task. But always remember, God's in it. God's always in spreading the gospel, and God will bless y'all. And before we leave, I want y'all to, we're going to take up a love offering for them, be a blessing for them. You got some prayer cards. We want to get, if you will, if you want to go by and get some of them. But at this time, we will, let's take up an offering, and then we're going to ask everybody to come up here to the front, and we're going to pray. Just remember this. You say, well, you should be very, very eager to give money to a missionary always, because I can tell you this, that you could be the next one God calls. You know, we do our part to be a blessing, to help, to encourage, and pray. Where y'all gonna be at while y'all down here? Okay. How y'all gonna? Have you ever heard of Brother Rene Ferret? You know him? You like him? No. I'm just kidding. That's the sister sitting behind you. Yeah, have you ever heard of Beams? We support Beams, and matter of fact, the church, when Brother Rene Ferret before Beams was the church come out where he was pastoring at Temple down on the coast with Brother Cranes down there now. But I always ask missionaries by him, you know, because that's a tool, you know, these Bibles. You know, and that's always been a huge. Most missionaries know Beams or ministries like that help supply Bibles, you know, to all across the country, and they have printed them. And I mean, for you know, right now in Mississippi, we've got before the Supreme Court on this, and I can't help but think about this every time whenever you have the abortion, you know, going on. Well, I mean, there was an abortion clinic right down there by Temple, and then there were a lot of people praying, and that abortion clinic shut down, and that's where Beams used to print the Bibles out of. Yeah, they do. I believe I think they own it still and use it for storage. But I mean, that's where they started off printing the Bibles out. I mean, they did printed Bibles there. Went from an abortion clinic to sending Bibles out throughout the. I mean, the thing is, God's in control, and we've got to realize that. Oftentimes, we'll try to outrun God. We'll try to outthink God. And God already knows it all. He already knows. Just like listening to that song the other day, you know, I mean, he always, we're looking at it face on. But see, he can see it from this away, and he can get on the other side where it's completed and look back and tell. If we'll just listen to him, he'll tell us the best way to go and what to do. If y'all will come ahead, we're going to pray.